Why are y'all red? Supposed to be green.
Yeah, green is on and red is like standby.
Wasn't up talking about yet.
You didn't want to hear what he was saying anyway.
Yeah. I'm gonna say something nasty about it. I don't want it. I'm gonna tell you. Where's our?
Grab a flat. Yeah.
Thank you.
Figured you'd know.
Mm-mm.
Someone in number 2. That's about it. Who's that? Is that Josh? No. It's the only one so far.
Sounds good.
Get
We
started.
can start the shit
Everybody's here.
here.
Sits in that chair. Don't miss it.
Gator Lee's coming out of the job now.
Do what?
That's who it is.
He can have it. I've tried to get him to do it a couple times.
5 minutes ago, he was at the creek when we were shooting.
I was getting it by
For a
default,
meeting.
see when he showed up anymore.
He's like, what?
That's the first thing I had to see.
Well, they called me, told me first, second.
The second one, I'd planned to
Tend
get
to do
big.
that with you.
When I said, "Hey, man,
Yeah, you. Me neither, bro.
In a way.
Yeah. It's nice to have on the resume for a while. Yeah, you retired. Bill Chapman, see what
It's 4 o'clock, y'all ready?
we make a fundraiser for you. Y'all ready to bring it in?
Gary, you ready? We don't need a delay. Let's hurry up. If y'all would, please stand us and join us in say the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we thank you for another day that we can be here, Lord, and pray that you'll just give us the peace and the ability to make decisions that are best for Walton County. Lord, we thank you for giving us this responsibility. We ask that you give us the ability to carry it out faithfully. I ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, we'll go ahead and open the meeting, and if you haven't done so, I'll ask you to go ahead and, if you haven't silenced your phone, either silence it or turn it off. That way we can limit interruptions as much as possible. And we'll go ahead and set a hard stop time by request of Mr. Roberts of 10 o'clock tonight, so, 9 o'clock, I'm sorry. I don't think we'll get close to that, but we'll
I
be all
thought I
right.
said 5:45, but we'll go with whatever you got.
First item is approving the minutes, commissioners.
Motion approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Mac? Oh, you gotta sign this.
Good evening, Commissioners. We have a fairly short agenda tonight. We have one item that we have a request to continue on. Would you like to dispense with that?
Please.
That would be item number 5 on our agenda tonight under the quasi judicial item section. The Commerce Park Site Plan Amendment. We have a request to continue to May 10, 2018 at 5 p.m. in this room.
Do we have a motion?
Motion made, second.
Motion and a second. You get them? Lee and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks, sir. The first item under our legislative section tonight is the Bay Grove Park Small Scale Amendment. It's a request to approve by ordinance. It's been reviewed by Kelly Frommeyer, and she would be here presenting this tonight if she wasn't in the hospital waiting for her baby to arrive.
Well, I guess we'll excuse her for that.
Yeah. What's this one?
Hopefully, the next couple of days, we'll have an addition to the planning department that we can
Amen.
get trained and get on the job as soon as possible. This is a small-scale amendment submitted by Greg Graham, Walton County Public Works, on behalf of the Walton County Board of Commissioners, requesting approval to amend the future land use category for the subject parcel from rural village to public facilities on approximately 7.46 acres. Project's located at the southwest corner of the intersection of Bay Grove Road South and US 331, adjacent to US 331 and just north of the bay. You may recognize it as the county's new park location as you're traveling southbound, immediately on your right before you enter the bridge. It's identified by the parcel numbers as described in your package. And we're available to answer any questions you might have about this particular land use change.
Commissioners? Any questions of staff? We're okay right now.
Good idea.
I think it's an outstanding idea. Thank you for moving it forward.
Yeah.
Thank the commissioners for,
All right. Thanks to our
Good luck with that.
commissioners for having the foresight
Amen.
to be able to purchase this parcel. In fact, if we did nothing other than just leave it the way it is right now, what a tremendous improvement it is traveling south on US 331 for our visitors.
driving down here tonight, there was, I can't tell you how many people, there were already people parked out there and sitting out there fishing and stuff, and it's good to see.
It's a great location.
Yep. All right, we'll open up public comments.
Swear me in.
Yes, sir.
Swear me in.
No, not for legislative.
My name's Steve Underwood. I live just the other side of the bay. I'm a fisherman. I'm very interested, and I don't know if this is the proper area or time to bring this up, but most of the people I know don't read the paper a whole lot. They go more into digital media, and they're looking on the news and on the internet, and we don't know much as far as the planning of the park. My major concern is as far as a boat launch. For years, we've had boat launches up and down the causeway to where you could launch from either side. If the weather was really bad on the east side, we'd run around to the other side, have somebody meet us with the truck, and we'd safely get in and out of the water. Now you can only launch from the east side. There really needs to be a boat launch, a deep water boat launch, deep enough to get fishing boats in and out, on the west side. It would also be nice to have something more accessible from the north end, just for less travel and less U-turns. I don't know what the planning is, and like I said, I don't know if this is the proper time to bring it up, but I felt I should come in and voice my opinion on this. Also, I would like to suggest if there was some way that this information and planning could be made more public through the digital media to where it was on the internet or even at the bait stores, if notices were posted of what was planned. And I noticed in the paperwork for today that there was no public comments. Everybody I talked to has comments. So there's some blockage there, if that's the proper word. Somehow the flow's not getting from point A to point B.
Okay. Well, we'll certainly ask those questions. I don't have the answer for you, but I think there's
expect
somebody
one.
probably sitting here that can help us get that answer.
Okay, my name is Steve Underwood. I put my phone number on the paperwork out there.
Okay.
If there's any way I can help, or if there's anybody that would like to contact me,
Mr. Underwood, the county engineer, Greg Graham, he's the one who's developing the plans for this park. I will give him your telephone number and ask that he give you a call.
okay, you wanted me to give it to you now?
Well, no, sir, I'll get it from the paper out front.
Okay.
We have to sign in.
Okay.
I had spoken with Sarah Commander, and I was part of the initiative where we had the petition to reopen some of the parking for the fishing areas. I went on Winston Chester and spoke actually on that program, and it got us a little bit of publicity and got things moving to get
Right.
some of that fishing reopened, which I think is a great thing.
Right.
But anything I can do to help, I'd be glad to.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much. Matt, do you know anything about that?
Yes, sir, just a little bit. The actual park plan has been completed, and it's ready to be permitted. It will include a boat launch. I don't recall exactly what the depth of the channel might be, but I know that Greg was working on getting permission to improve the channel so we could launch larger boats there from that location again. The plan is a minor development, so there will not come before this board or the Board of County Commissioners, and it will not be noticed as far as mail notices to the public. It has gone to the Technical Review Committee, and that was advertised in the Beach Breeze, Defina Carroll classified sections where we advertise all of our public meetings and agendas for those meetings. But we do have a copy of that plan here at the South Walton Annex, and it's available for anyone to come by and take a look at anytime that we're open, and we'll be open first thing in the morning.
Okay. You got Mr. Underwood? Right out here. When you go out, the planning office is right around the corner down here.
Right at the
All
end
right.
of the hall.
All right, thank you, sir. Is there anybody else who wishes to speak on this item? Seeing, that's okay. Come on up here. If I gotta talk into a microphone, so do you.
Lloyd Rich, I live on Bay Grove Road right down from here, and I love the idea. We applaud the commissioner's initiative to provide this beautiful park. I'm curious about the boat ramp, because I launch jet skis and boats. Is it gonna be one boat ramp or more than one? Since one boat ramp sounds like to me, it could be congestion there, people trying to get in and out with their boats.
I think it sounds like at this time there's just one planned. Is that correct, Mac?
I think so, but I don't have that plan here tonight.
But I would say that I would encourage you to come to the commission meeting, the BCC meeting when they have it.
Next week, the public hearing?
Yeah, and bring that up. Because it's not something that I don't think can't be added later. It may not be in the initial plan, but that's something that if enough people show the concern about that's something they could discuss.
Well, my original question, which I have not asked, is what is the projected open date, or is there an estimate? Is that this year, next year, 5 years? I mean, just a rough indication when we'll be able to enjoy this part of the boat ramp? And
Right. Mac?
I believe it'll be later this summer. There's not a tremendous amount of construction that's going to be required to improve this park. So we want to get it up and just as soon as we can. This is our first step in improving the concept to develop the park.
Thank you. Thank you, sirs.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Anybody else? All right, we'll close public comments. Commissioners?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. That brings us to item number 2 in the legislative section, the Dune Allen Regional Beach Access Small Scale Amendment. This, again, is a request to approve by ordinance. It's been reviewed by Bob Baranti. It's a small scale amendment application submitted by Public Works on behalf of the Walton County Board of County Commissioners, requesting approval to change the adopted future land use of neighborhood infill to Parks and Recreation on approximately 1.22 acres. The address of the project is 5999 County Highway 30A. It's identified by parcel numbers in your package, and it's directly south of Woodward Avenue, I believe, and the Stinky's Restaurant. Again, this is a county application. Be happy to try to answer any questions you might have.
Commissioners, any questions for staff? Don't see any. Nothing? Okay. We'll open public comments. If anybody has any comments or questions on this project? Yes, ma'am.
Celeste Cabina, and I'm a resident of Dune Allen, and I just want to get ahead of this, but recently the county's been putting in a lot of parking and more beach access in that area, and I think that's great. However, the median areas are being landscaped with non-native species. They're putting rose bushes in, and I asked Brian Kellerberg about this, and he goes, yeah, the landscapers who get the contract chose to put something called a drift rose in, and a drift rose is like a hybrid. It's not even a natural plant. And I think whenever this plan moves forward, there should be a requirement to have native species that are found in Walton County in the dune system, because it looks completely out of place. So I just wanted to get ahead of the game so that when the planning is done, that is put in.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, we'll close public comments. Commissioners?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll go into our quasi-judicial item. Would you like to swear everybody in?
Yes. Anyone who anticipates testifying on any of the remaining items, if you would stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will provide to this board is the truth?
I do.
Okay, whenever you come forward, if you would just state your name and state that you've been sworn in. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is number 3, the Sacred Heart at Watersound Origins development. It's a request to approve by final order. It's been reviewed by Renee Bradley. It's a major development order application submitted by Dan Velasquez on behalf of the Watersound Company, LLC, requesting approval to develop 13,210 square feet of medical office on just under 3 acres with a future land use of town center. The project's located north of the intersection of US Highway 90 East and North Watersound Parkway and is identified by the parcel numbers in your package. I think the applicant is here prepared to present their project.
Mike Harper, Buchanan and Harper, 735 West 11th Street, Panama City, Florida. Here on behalf of St. Joe's Company and Watersound.
These fancy new microphones we gotta figure out.
We'll be glad to answer any questions you might have. It's a fairly straightforward project located in the commercial area of Watersound Origin.
Commissioners, any questions? None? Don't run off yet. We'll go ahead and open up public comment or public testimony. We don't have anybody who's signed up. Is there anybody who would like to speak? Wow. We'll close public comment. Seeing none.
We'd like to request that we add the staff report to the record.
Okay. Commissioners?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. That brings us to item number 4, the Sherwin-Williams proposed development. That's a request to approve by final order. It's been reviewed by Tim Brown. It's a major development application submitted by Ascon Inc. on behalf of 30A Country Mart LLC, requesting approval to construct a 6,902 square foot building with associated infrastructure on approximately 0.722 acres with the future land use of light industrial. The project's located at the southwest corner of the intersection of US 98 West and Lynn Drive and is identified by a parcel number in your package. The applicant is here and is prepared to enter or support their case. We'd like to request the staff report be entered into the record.
Accepted.
Hello, my name is Tanya Nation. I'm with AFCON and I have been sworn in and here to answer any questions you might have.
Commissioners? Well, we're on a roll. don't see any right now. Don't run off yet. Okay, thank you. We have nobody who signed up. Is there anybody who would like to address this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, one last item. This project did go to the Design Review Board last week prior or after your reports were prepared. DRB voted at their April 5 meeting to unanimously approve this project and move it forward to the Planning Commission. And I'd like to add this statement to the record also.
Okay. All right, Commissioners, what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
You got a second? If there's no further discussion, everybody say, approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. This brings us to the last item on our agenda tonight, number 6, the Surf Song Estates right-of-way abandonment. This is a request to approve by resolution. The project has been reviewed by Tim Brown. It's petition for abandonment application is submitted by Core Engineering and Consulting on behalf of Prime Investments of FWB LLC, requesting an abandonment of the western 9 feet of a 16.5-foot right-of-way on approximately 0.01 acres with a future land use of neighborhood infill. The project is located at the north end of Surf Song Lane. We'd like to request a staff report be entered into the record, and the applicant's agent is here to present their case.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Ed Stanford. I'm with Core Engineering and Consulting. I have been sworn in. It's very straightforward, although we hate to hear right-of-way abandonment, but at the same time, this particular situation, it's already been impacted by the development of Siboney on the western 16.5 feet of this easement right-of-way, and the adjacent property to the north had a similar abandonment that we approved collectively within the last 12 months. So this is a sort of a leftover. It's a road to nowhere. We are not asking for anything more than what the applicant would like to get for his home use, and there's really no intrinsic purpose to this particular right-of-way anymore because it is really a leftover, and it doesn't provide any connectivity of importance at this point. But here to answer any questions y'all might have.
Yes, is this limited to just that space? The other portions of that right-of-way?
It would still be 7.5 feet
Mm-hmm.
on the eastern side of this home between the property line and the home that would provide that setback requirement.
There's no utilities,
No,
nothing?
no.
What was the easement originally for?
It was for roads and utilities, but the way the area had been developed over the years, there's actually a 16.5 foot on, quote unquote, our side of the property and 16.5 foot on Siboney's side, which is to the east of this property. Well, Siboney was developed with no regard to this particular easement, and so there are already RV slots, RVs, storage homes, etc. on this easement.
So everybody's got services with that?
Oh yes, already. Yeah, we're really the last ones to the table, where the owner is. And we abandoned a similar area last year, serving the subdivision to the north. Had that subdivision wrapped around and connected to Old 98, then there would absolutely be purpose to it. But that was Sundance was the name of the subdivision, and they put it in a cul-de-sac and basically negated the requirement or need to have
Is
connectivity.
anybody in the neighborhood opposed?
Complained of it? No, not to my knowledge. We haven't, and Tim, Mac would know.
Mac, how, I guess, north and south, does the easement continue on, or is it just that one little portion?
It does continue on, and it will continue, but it's going to be 7.5 feet wide from this property through the Sundance, lot 8 of Sundance, and then it widens back up
So
to
that
16
Sundance
feet.
Court where it ends there, if this easement had been, I guess, they could have just run a road straight down through there.
If Siboney had not been developed the way it was, yes, but they took up 16.5 feet of it already.
Right.
And, you know, the purpose of that 16.5 feet either side is to provide the connectivity, but
Mhm.
it was never master planned that way.
So that lot, I guess, just to the north,
Yeah, lot 8 of Sundance Court.
and that's a developed lot with a home on it.
It's got a home on it, and we abandoned 7.5 or 9 feet of that last year.
Okay. I
Yeah.
remember too now.
And it was the same circumstances where we had now had a cul-de-sac. We already had most of the east side developed, and we were left with, the strip. I mean, of course, you can maintain the strip, but it will never be utilized at the end of the day.
Right.
And if there were requirements to provide, let's say, water, sewer, or power connectivity, there's still 7.5 feet there to provide that, if that's a requirement, but have not been notified of that to date. And because of this development was just completed in the last 12 months,
Mhm.
South Walton Utilities would have already indicated their requirement for that,
Right.
and Gulf Power.
Right. Okay. Commissioners, any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay, we'll open up public comments. No one signed up. Is there anybody who would like to address this issue? Okay, we'll close public comments. Commissioners?
Mike, what's the Public Works position on this?
We have the standard comment from Public Works that they oppose any abandonment of any public interest in a right-of-way or easement.
Is there any public interest in abandoning this right away? Any in opposition?
We've had no public comment in opposition of this or in favor of it, other than the applicant. We've had Public Works standard comment offered. And this is a unique circumstance where we could roll the clock back 30 years. Yeah, we'd probably put a road through there, knowing what we know now. But
It's not possible now without one lot developed.
it's not feasible now. It has been abandoned or either encroached upon with development approved by the Board of County Commissioners over the last 30 to 40 years. These easements were originally placed, I believe, in 1955.
And it's sort of like closing the barn door after the horse got out.
I think in this particular case it is, and it's not, I mean, we never support abandonments as a rule. If we were going to think about supporting one, this might qualify. But officially, we don't support abandonments, but this is one where I'm not sure that there's a huge
Doesn't sound like it's gonna make a difference.
opportunity for a public interest to actually do something with this.
Well, I move we approve it.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I believe that wraps us up.
Thank you, Commissioners. That concludes our agenda.
You know what? I think we beat you 30 minutes the last meeting.
You don't need to move. 26 minutes.
Good job. Came back with a vengeance.
Man, I tell you what.
I'll let you know if I hear something.
Yeah.
All right, not bad.
I hadn't seen nothing. Well, once this